Now at 10, does the House of Representatives have enough votes to begin the impeachment process? That's the latest from Washington, D.C. Plus, a young boy hit by a car, the driver taking off tonight. How police caught the man who fled the scene.
And I think that, in this case, this was just a very tragic outcome.
Today, a deadly officer-involved shooting is ruled justified.
Live from Utah's first TV station, ABC4 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for watching us here at ABC4 News. I'm Emily Flores. A call for help, a response, and then one shot, a fatal one. Today, the incident ruled justified. October 2018, a mother calls police to say her son is mentally ill, on drugs, and acting out of control, even threatening her. Police arrive, and the domestic incident ends with her son shot one time and killed. ABC4's Brittany Johnson spoke with the DA and joins us live in studio with the story.
Well, Emily, I'm holding a 16-page document from the Salt Lake County DA's office, and here you'll find witness statements, legal and ethical standards, and facts. The DA took all of this into account and came to the conclusion the officer's use of force was necessary to prevent death or serious bodily injury to the officer or another person. This home on Southstone Ridge Court in Riverton became a crime scene last October. Ann Esposito called police for help, stating her son, Jason Robert Whittle, mentally ill and high on meth, was, quote, out of control and had a butter knife. Documents state officers arrived to Whittle holding a butter knife to his mother's throat.
They were yelling to him to drop the knife, drop the knife.
Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill says the officer fired one shot at Whittle's head. The 26-year-old died immediately. Today, the DA ruled the officer's actions justified.
But what was communicated to the officers was that this person has a knife, is dangerous, and is mentally ill, and may be on drugs. What we have to be able, in order to rule it unjustified, we have to be able to say that the officers knew that this was a butter knife, let's say if that's the argument, knew it was a butter knife, knew that this person was not going to be a danger, and nonetheless then still decided to use lethal force.
I asked if this use of force was necessary or if a taser could have been used instead.
You know, those are really good questions. And unfortunately, the way our laws are written, we don't get to think about that. We don't get to look for less lethal options because they're not required by the statute.
The DA calling the entire incident difficult and tragic.
For somebody who's lost a loved one, a family member, I respect that, the fact that nothing I say or no explanation that I can give them is going to return their loved one to them.
If you or someone you know is in a dangerous domestic situation, there is free and confidential help available 24/7. Call this number on the bottom of your screen. It's 1-800-897-LINK. Again, the number is on your screen right now. It's also on our website, abc4.com. Emily, back to you.
Brittany, thank you. We're following some developing news from Antelope Island where a woman was attacked by a bison there. Now, this happened around 7:30 this evening. The 22-year-old female, we're told she was hiking on the lakeside trail when this all happened. She was flown by helicopter to the hospital in Ogden, and we're told she suffered a compound fracture of her lower leg. Her injuries are not life-threatening. Park rangers saying that they hope through this unfortunate incident this can be a reminder to be extra careful around wild animals. And a man charged with stalking young girls was in court today. 43-year-old Chad D. Flinton accused of following a 14-year-old girl and her friends into an elevator at a Farmington Harmon's grocery store back in July, even trying to get into the bathroom they were in, reportedly. Well, according to charging documents, the girls say they heard him mumbling the word sex. Today, his bail was set at $50,000. He has previous convictions involving following young girls. Now to Salt Lake City, where the driver in a hit-and-run crash turns himself in. This happened this evening. Salt Lake City police say this red pickup that you can see here hit an 8-year-old child in a neighborhood near Mountain View Elementary School. Now, that young boy was not seriously injured and is expected to be okay. You can see him hop back up right there. The driver did stop and did step out of his truck, but then left before police could arrive. No word of charges tonight. This incident still under investigation. And it's a video that's gone viral. You see it right here. A restaurant owner holding a fire extinguisher and spraying a man smoking a cigarette directly in the face. Now that man is planning some legal action. John Bird says he was volunteering near the Gallivan Plaza on Friday when a restaurant owner got angry and sprayed him in the face with the fire extinguisher. Bird says he has a myriad of physical symptoms and plans to file a claim for civil assault and battery. Okay, now let's take a moment to get a check of the weather. Dan, what's happening tonight in the forecast?
Well, my Facebook friends say it's raining a little bit in Harriman and in Clearfield, the Eaglewood area of North Salt Lake, and we're seeing some measurable rain in Salt Lake City. The winds are not high yet, but they are currently running 28 in Moab, 17 in Cedar City. That's the steady wind. High wind warning in effect for Juab, for parts of Millard as well as Beaver and Iron counties, even a north section there of Washington County. Where you see the light brown, it's a wind advisory. So you say, Dan, how much wind does that really mean? Well, in the high wind warning area, expect 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, gusts to 60 or higher. That'll cause problems, won't it? And the rest of Utah, 30 to 40 miles per hour with gusts to 50. It's a windy day tomorrow, but that upper level low is coming in. Now, it looks like it will be more of a miss than a hit, and I'll explain why I mean that coming up in my full pinpoint weather forecast in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Dan. Well, evacuations in place as a deadly storm batters parts of India. The western Indian city of Pune got more than 5.5 inches of rain in 48 hours this week. Local leaders are calling it an unprecedented level of monsoon rain. Look at this video. Cars are floating in this water. Well, most of this rain came on Wednesday and Thursday. 15,000 people were evacuated. We're told at least 14 people have died, including a 9-year-old boy. According to officials, many of the deaths resulted from buildings and walls collapsing during the flash floods. Another 9 people are still reported missing. And tonight we've learned that a majority of the House of Representatives are in favor of the push to impeach President Trump. According to transcripts of that call, the president repeatedly urged the Ukrainian leader to investigate his potential 2020 rival, Joe Biden, and his son, the nation's top intelligence official caught in the tug-of-war between the White House and Congress.
This appears to be the first intelligence community whistleblower complaint that has ever been withheld from Congress.
The House Intel Committee plans to continue their investigation through the congressional recess. And Joe Biden, a name that has come up frequently since the whistleblower complaint, well, he'll take his campaign for president and bring it right here to Utah. ABC4's Nick McGurk live now on a visit from Biden tomorrow and what this could mean for Utah. Nick.
Well, Emily, it's going to be a short visit from about 10 a.m. to noon tomorrow, but it is a big deal. Obviously, Utah hosting a major presidential candidate. Tonight we spoke to the event organizer to get his sense of what it all means.
We have a president who's violated his oath of office, a president who has put at risk our national security.
Former Vice President Joe Biden speaking in Nevada today and headed to Glenwild, an exclusive community in Park City, tomorrow.
Well, we often call Utah the crossroads of the West. It's the epicenter of political action tomorrow.
The Biden fundraiser to be held at a private residence tomorrow, so it's unclear what might happen or be talked about. Though longtime Biden friend and event organizer Scott Howell says the topic of Ukraine could very well come up.
The vice president has the opportunity to correct the record, and that's what he might be talking about tomorrow.
And before you think, just what is a Democrat doing in a red state like Utah besides raising money? Howell points out our state's presidential primary will move for the first time to March 3rd, also known as Super Tuesday. That's when the most states and territories in our country, in one day, cast their primary ballots for president.
We've never been in the game before, and now we're in the game. And we will count. Our delegates will count. We're a Super Tuesday state, and we haven't been that before.
So tomorrow's fundraiser, again, from 10 a.m. to noon tomorrow. No public appearances or speeches scheduled. But again, the fundraising aspect of this is very important. We know the quarterly fundraising deadline for the presidential race is coming up in just a few days. Obviously, all these candidates getting as much money as they can before that deadline. We're live in Salt Lake City tonight. I'm Nick McGurk, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Nick. Well, this week we told you about a public hearing on conversion therapy. Well, opponents and advocates testified in front of the Psychologist Licensing Board on Thursday, and those in favor of conversion therapy saying that it can help people change. Those against it citing evidence that the practice drives people into depression and suicidal ideation. Troy Williams with Equality Utah explains what could happen next.
Doppel weighs all of the public hearing, and they actually will propose a rule to the governor, and then it will be adopted. We expect that it could be as soon as October 22nd, if not sooner.
Troy hopes they get a positive ruling by next Saturday night, just in time for Equality Utah Allies Gala at the Eccles Theater. Coming up, it's Friday night. You know what that is. It's ABC4 sports team. It's standing by with the Beehive Blitz. We'll stick around, please, for that, for the best high school football the state has to offer.
And let's go ahead and look outside on the Colonial Flag Tower camera. The ball, we call it the weather ball. It is blinking blue for showers due. When will they hit, and how long will they last? In Utah's most accurate forecast.
Time now for Utah's most accurate forecast. Weather rate certified 8 years in a row.
Big part of the storm will be in Montana. Blizzard conditions in this area right here. Great Falls to Cut Bank to the area around Glacier National Park. Now, some snow is going to fall in Yellowstone, and light snow in the higher elevations where you see the light blue shade. Outside, when we go, we can see a little bit of rain falling from the clouds. My Facebook friends in Syracuse and Eaglewood in North Salt Lake and also Harriman say it's been raining a little bit. Even Castledale reporting some drips of rain. 63 and 0.01 at the airport. It has been raining just a little bit. Winds are north at 7. Warmest air is to the south, where the winds are still gusting and will gust tonight and will be very gusty tomorrow. Current wind gusts 37 in Moab, 26 Hanksville, and in Cedar City. So very, very windy. As this storm begins to develop, you can see the showers beginning to cross northern Nevada, northern Utah, and those showers are already producing the rain we've been talking about. There's the pockets of, well, you've got red right there. That's heavier rain. Yellow is lighter, moderate rain, and green is just where there's some sprinkles. And so right in here, Layton and Ogden, Roy, and out over the Great Salt Lake, that's where the rain is falling right now. But through the night, a little band of thunder showers pops up and moves towards Provo at 2 a.m. That'll quickly move into Manila, Vernal, Duchesne by 4 a.m. Here's where the heaviest rain is going to be from right in western Wyoming, Montpelier, Park Valley, Snowville. This is going to be hit hard with a lot of moisture, and that'll persist through the day tomorrow. 8 a.m., scattered showers in the morning, a few showers, but mainly moving north of Salt Lake City, and high winds. Everywhere you see the red on the map there, very high, strong, gusty winds, steadier, heavy rain showers and thunderstorms, wind over to Logan, persisting through Saturday night. And then Sunday early in the day, a cold front will move by, and that'll push showers east and bring a period of light to moderate precipitation through the Wasatch Front. Briefly, the snow levels will drop to 5,500 feet in Salt Lake, Ogden, maybe down to the valley floor in Logan by 1 p.m. And notice those spotty showers of snow out over Nevada. That'll all be going away quickly. The winds will be diminishing, and Sunday night into Monday, much quieter. But there will be some cold temperatures. How much rain will fall? Well, it looks like from Kaysville north, ½ inch to maybe over an inch in Logan, and 2.6 inches in Snowville. That's where the heavy precipitation will fall there to Windover, as well as back into places like Elko. The cold front moves in on Sunday morning. As I mentioned, that's when we'll have the best chance for showers in Salt Lake. There's your forecast for tomorrow. It's a wet, rainy day in Logan for football. It's a showery day in Salt Lake City for football and the University of Utah. Also Weber in Ogden, off again, on again rain. The winds, they blow like crazy in southern Utah for 2 days. Then we have nearly perfect weather, sunshine for the rest of the week. The Wasatch Front, off again, on again, scattered showers and thunder showers, especially Salt Lake City north, and more especially from Logan to Windover. Sunday, periods of rain developing in the morning and ending in the afternoon. It'll be a cool day, still breezy, then kind of cool, upper 30s for lows, low 40s, and highs in the 60s to the low 70s for the rest of the week. That end of the week forecast is not quite as good as the Beehive Blitz that's coming up right now.
Welcome to the Beehive Blitz. Week 7, and the combined record of the top 4 teams in Region 4, 21-2. And tonight, two of those 4 teams squared off against each other.
Yeah, could this be a 6A semifinal preview? Let's start at Sky Ridge. The undefeated Falcons taking on 5-1 Pleasant Grove after a punt return takes the Vikings down to the 2-yard line. Caleb Campbell picked off by Malai Tanuvasa. Down the sideline he goes, cuts across the field, and Tanuvasa is gone. That's a 100-yard pick six, and the Falcons take the early lead. Second quarter, Sky Ridge quarterback Emmett Call looking for Dylan Samuels, places the ball perfectly into his arms, 28-yard touchdown. But you know what, Wes? PG came back to take this one. The final score, 28-27. Rex Connors, 2 touchdowns as Sky Ridge loses for the first time this year.
Well, I've got another wild one for you. Dana in Region 4, undefeated Corner King and hosting Lone Peak. Homecoming down in Draper, Cole Hagan takes home the crown. Hagan with the ball, but Jared Fotu gets to him before he can do anything. Sack for Lone Peak. The Knights with the ball. Luke Romney knows where the ball needs to go. Throws it up for Trajan Hansen to get it. What a grab! 10-3 Knights. The Chargers driving now. Hagan is going to be picked off by Justin Osler. Then on 4th and 1, Romney rolls out, hits Sean Wood for the touchdown. The Knights with a 17-7 lead. 2 minutes to go, but Corner King comes back. Final score, 21-17. The Chargers scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute, including the game winner with 2 seconds left. Wow.
Wow. First place in Region 2 on the line is Kearns hosting Hunter. This was all Cougars. Quarterback Dakota Lynn, he has a favorite target, and that guy is named Isaiah Apatasi. What a game he had. This touchdown put Kearns up big, and those 2 weren't done. Next possession, it's Lynn to Apatasi again. 15-yard strike into the corner of the end zone. Kearns is cruising, but those 2 still weren't done. Just before the half, guess who? Dakota Lind and Isaiah Apatasi. If it keeps working, why stop it? And Kearns had it working tonight. They pull away easily. Final score, 51-15. Dakota Lind, 5 touchdown passes for the Cougars.
2 traditional powerhouse programs going at it. Bingham hosting East. The Miners open up the scoring. The direct snap to Mason Christiansen. He's got a gap, gets through that gap, and he's gone.
Damn.
A nice little 70-yard touchdown romp up the sideline. 9-8 Miners at the half, third quarter. Bingham adds another touchdown. Preston Larson up the middle. Big pile. Gets over the goal line, 16-8, but less than a minute to go. East cuts that lead. 16-14 on the touchdown. They go for the two-point conversion and the tie, but the Bingham defense comes up huge. What a stop. Miners hold on to win it. 16-14 is your final score. That's the fourth straight win for Bingham over East.
A crucial Region 1 matchup as 4-2 Syracuse travels to 4-2 Davis. Syracuse with the ball. Bridger Hamlin fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he's gone. Right up the gut, 55-yard touchdown. Syracuse out in front. The Darts trying to get back into it. Quarterback Chance Trujillo takes a chance, hits David Spute, 7-yard scoring pass, but this was all Syracuse. Hamlin to the air, flushed out of the pocket. Oh, that's going to be a nice little run there for Syracuse. And they hold on for the win. They win it big. The final score, 38-6. Bridger Hamlin, 2 touchdowns through the air, 2 on the ground for the Titans.
Time now to bring in the incomparable Mr. Rick Aaron, who traveled down to Utah County for an unexpected battle of some unbeatens.
Yeah, guys, only 10 undefeated teams in the state coming into tonight, and 2 of them are in Region 10. Park City visiting Mountain View in Orem. Both teams 6-0. What can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? The Miners were up 21-0 at halftime. Then in the third, Mark McCurdy cuts back against the grain and runs about 45 yards just to pick up 20. Later in the drive, Jack Skidmore gives the rock to Dylan Bauer, who plows over the goal line to make it 28-0 Park City. The Bruins trying to get something going, but the PC defense just wasn't having it. McKay Strauss on the give, and he gets stuffed by Carver Rodman and Stone Cold Stone Combs for a loss of 2 yards. Park City wins it 42-16. Bauer with 4 touchdown runs for the still undefeated Miners. Next door in Provo, it was poultry in motion. K&C Barbecue firing up their grill for the Lehigh-Tempview game, and trust me, you wish this was smell-o-vision. Scoreless in the second quarter when Pioneers QB Creighton Cooper tosses a screen pass to Carson Manukin, and Carson begins with a C. U at the 27-yard line where he steps out of bounds. The T-Bird defense steps up, though. Lehigh will have to settle for a try for 3. It's not so bad, right? Or not. Timothy Roskelley's field goal is blocked by 6'4" Logan Fano, who says you'll get nothing and like it. Fano later blocked another kick, and Sione Moa ran for 3 TDs as Tempview wins it 28-9. Tempview is now 4-3. Lehigh has their 5-game win streak snapped. They're now 5-2. Wes and Dana, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Rick. You know, we've just begun on our Week 7 edition of the Beehive Blitz.
That's right. We've got plenty of action to get to, including a battle up north between Skyview and Mountain Crest. Stick around, everybody.